Hey there, friends, true believers, and newcomers alike. Superfly Comics Guy bringing you the death of Captain America. The Omnibus. Don't worry, I'm not killing Captain America. As per usual, we'll be taking a look at the cover, the spine, the contents collected, the build quality, and a flip through where I share my thoughts, opinions, and recommendations. So if you like the video, you know how to show it. And if you want to leave your thoughts below, feel free to do that. And the other thing I wanted to mention was, holy crap, we recently hit 250 subs. Thank you guys so much. That is awesome. To know that there's that many of you who found my videos either helpful or informative or entertaining enough to consider subscribing, that's awesome. So I thought it would be kind of cool to maybe do like a Q&A type of thing. So what I'll do most likely is I'll leave a comment down below, and all you have to do is, if you want to have your question answered, just reply to that comment. And I don't know, if we get enough questions, I'll answer them in an upcoming video. I thought that would be kind of cool. But anyway, for today, let's dive into this omnibus. Okay, so as you can see in front of me, we got the dust jacket to the Death of Captain America omnibus. You can see here I have the standard cover. There is a variant cover, and I think both of them are done by Steve Epting. There's the spine, and here is the back with a cover gallery, and contents of this book will be Captain America, the 2005 series, issue 25 through 42, all written by Ed Brubaker, and cover price of $75 US and $95 Canadian. Let me show you under the dust jacket. There we are. Same cover underneath. On the board, we got the standard cover here, the spine, and the back. Here we have the DM variant cover, also by Steve Epting. I'm not really a fan of either of the covers they chose for this omnibus, but this one I just liked less. I don't know, I'm a big fan of Steve Epting, but this cover here just kind of reminded me of like a bad movie poster or something. And I'm not really digging all the brown tones in it that they got going on. Just looks kind of muddy to me. So I went with the standard. But anyway, let's talk about the inside. Okay, so diving into the contents of the Death of Captain America omnibus. Got some bookend pages here. And here we go. Yeah, it's called the Death of Captain America omnibus. So, I mean, you should probably know what you're going to get. There's no dancing around that. But it all makes sense. So if you remember, a few months ago, I reviewed Captain America by Ed Brubaker, Volume 1, the omnibus that precedes this one. One of the very first videos I did, actually. And honestly, everything I said in that review, you can basically apply for this omnibus too. So all you need to know is this takes place around Civil War. And yes, Cap does die. That's not a spoiler for this omnibus when they put it in the title, I guess. And the interesting about that is that you get to see how that really shakes up the Marvel Universe. Because a lot of this omnibus deals with the effects that that moment has on various individuals and factions, whether it's S.H.I.E.L.D., other heroes, Cap's close friends, and really the whole country for that matter. But that doesn't mean we can all just sit around feeling sorry for ourselves, because the Red Skull is still out there somewhere scheming. So the world needs a Captain America to rise to the challenge, uncover his plans, and stop him before it's too late. Now that is a gross oversimplification of the overall plot that happens in this omnibus, but why would I spoil it for you? You gotta read it to find out. Speaking of the new Captain America, who is it? Well, I probably shouldn't say, but if you're a fan of the MCU and you've been kind of paying attention to where that's been going, you probably already have a few candidates in mind, so I'm sure you'll figure it out. But yeah, in addition to Red Skull here, you also get characters like Sin, Crossbones, Tony Stark, who is, at this point in time, the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is a very interesting shakeup, I found. Sharon Carter. My God, Sharon Carter is so good in this series. So well done. And a way more interesting character than she is in the MCU. My God, it's just night and day when you compare this version of Sharon Carter to the MCU version. They really fumbled the ball with her. Anyway, But you also have Bucky and Falcon trying to figure out the mystery of who killed Captain America and why. And there's a really cool bit of, what's it called? Is it dramatic irony? Because the audience knows what happened. It's shown to us kind of what happened and who's responsible. But Bucky and Falcon and really most of the other cast does not know. So it's really cool to follow along and watch them try to piece things together. It's a really compelling read. So how do you even describe this? It's like an action-driven political mystery thriller. And Brubaker, the writer, just knocks it out of the park. He's quickly becoming one of my favorite writers. But yeah, we have a new Captain America, and he also gets a new costume, which I really, really liked. It's jointly designed by Alex Ross and a little bit of Steve Epting as well. Really, really cool. You got this mostly black costume, but with like this shield shape on his chest. It's kind of like an armored look. I think it's a really, really cool costume for Cap. And speaking of Steve Epting, this Steve Epting art, wow, this is really, really cool. I really dig his style. He's got this sort of gritty, realistic look. Honestly, kind of reminds me a little bit of David Finch's style. Or maybe David Finch reminds me of Steve Epting. I don't know, one way or the other. But yeah, really dug the art all throughout this book. But yeah, this is just a fantastic read. It's really like reading an action movie. Normally, I'm not really a big fan of Cap. I just find him to be a one-note character a lot of the time. But man, Brubaker knows how to write, man. So this, you won't be bored with this, I don't think. And I can quickly show you some of the extras. Not all of them, because some will contain spoilers. And it's not a very big extras section, but then again, it's not a very big omnibus. So that's kind of expected, I suppose. But you got your classic extras like your cover gallery, sketches. Oh, there's that new suit for Cap I alluded to before. So cool looking. But you also got like an interview piece with Ed Brubaker, some scripts, sketches, character designs. Very, very cool stuff. Just not a lot of extras. And on the build quality side, you have 464 pages in this omnibus. There is the eye, or the lack thereof. Really, this book doesn't have an eye, but it's so tiny that, look, we're in the middle. You don't get any gutter loss anyway. What also helps that is that the pages are pretty thin. This is printed in Turkey, which, so, you know, that printer is pretty well known for having thin pages. It's not a huge deal a lot of the time because a lot of the colors on these pages are very dark, so you don't usually see color bleed. But on those rare occasions where you have like a lighter color being used, like white or maybe like a bright yellow, then you might start to see through the page. But all right, here we are coming to a close. So let me just wrap up some thoughts. What more is there to say? This is a fantastically written book with a very grounded but striking art style. And honestly, if you're a fan of the MCU, this is one of the most MCU-feeling omnibuses I've read so far. I still recommend reading Volume 1 first because this leaves directly off from Volume 1. And honestly, I think this might be even better than Volume 1. I would just say my biggest complaint about this omnibus is the tiny size. I mean, 464 pages. There's 5 volumes of Captain America, or Ed Brubaker's Captain America, and honestly, they probably could have made it 4 volumes and just shuffled these issues around and remapped it, but whatever, I get it. They wanted to capitalize on the Death of Captain America event, the spectacle of that. But yeah, that's been my review of the Death of Captain America omnibus. Let me know what you thought below. Remember to leave your questions if you want them answered in a Q&A. I think that might be fun. But yeah, thanks so much, guys, for joining me today. I hope to catch you in another video real soon. So you have yourself a great day. I've been Superfly Comics Guy, and until next time, you keep reading. Bye, guys.